To find and simplify the difference quotient for this other function, f of x equal to the square root of 5x plus 1, we have f of x plus h equal to the square root of 5 times x plus h plus 1. And we're going to use a technique called multiplying by the quotient, the conjugate, apologies. So for some expression like a plus b, the conjugate is a minus b. It's always the same terms, just with this different sign connecting them. And when you multiply something by its conjugate, a plus b times a minus b, what you get is the middle terms canceling out. It's a squared plus, or sorry, really minus a times b, and then plus a times b minus b squared. And those cancel. And so you end up getting a squared minus b squared. So whenever you multiply something by its conjugate, you end up getting just the first thing squared minus the second thing squared. So when we do f of x plus h minus f of x all over h, it ends up being the square root of, so I'm going to write this as 5x plus 5h plus 1 minus the square root of 5x plus 1 all over h. And we're going to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate of the square root part. So we're going to multiply it by the square root of 5x plus 5h plus 1 plus the square root of 5x plus 1 over the same thing. And what's going to happen is when we multiply this part by this part, we're going to get the first thing squared. So the square root of 5x plus 5h plus 1 squared minus the second thing squared, which is the square root of 5x plus 1 squared. And the middle terms would cancel out. The bottom is going to be h times the square root of 5x plus 5h plus 1 plus the square root of 5x plus 1. We don't multiply at the bottom because, again, we're looking to cancel out that h, so we want to leave it factored out. So this is going to end up equaling 5x plus 5h plus 1 minus parentheses 5x plus 1 all over h times all that stuff. And then the top, well, we distribute the minus sign here, so we get 5x plus 5h plus 1 minus 5x minus 1 over the same denominator. The 5x's cancel, and the 1 and the negative 1 cancel. Not surprisingly, the only thing we're left with has an h in the numerator. So we have 5h over h times the square root of 5x plus 5h plus 1 plus the square root of 5x plus 1. And finally, the h's cancel, like we expect them to. And you're left with 5 over the square root of 5x plus 5h plus 1 plus the square root of 5x plus 1. And that is our final answer. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you guys next time.